4:30 on ESPN2. What a weird kickoff time
Yeah.
for Florida versus FSU. I remember we were talking about it last night on our post-game show, and we knew it was either going to be 3:30 or 4:30, and we questioned the 4:30 time frame, and it was like, oh, that's probably the SEC Network game. The SEC Network games actually start at a regular time, 12, 3:30, and 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which they've been starting at like 12:45, and then like 4:15 and 7:45 for like most of the season. I think there's a couple instances where it didn't, but they're going to the regular time frame, and ESPN2 now has a altered time frame. I know the ESPN2 first game is at 1 o'clock. I think it's the Louisville maybe some ACC game. I can't remember
That'll be
exactly which
Louisville,
one.
Kentucky, if it's a Louisville game.
ESPN2 Saturday. What's the 29th?
Yeah.
The first thing that comes up is Florida versus FSU. That's funny. But on ESPN2, Sunday the 20th. Okay, I'm trying to go all the way to Saturday. There we go. They just have to listen to college football. They don't even have the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it is. They got to just be shifting the time slots because of the fact that they've got games kind of spread out all throughout the weekend. Like, they've got a ton of games on Friday. So I would think.
Wait, I got it right here. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Pitt, no, not Pitt. Georgia Tech. Okay, for some reason it doesn't have there. Maybe college basketball. Maybe that's the reason why.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know, but they've obviously got it in a different time slot. So I mean, that's just weird. Weird kick time. But hey, I mean, the later kick is better, I think, all around. So
why do you think that?
I don't know. I think because like a 4:30 is like most of that game is going to be after dark, which I mean, I think most people kind of agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the game, so it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun environment. I expect fans to show up for a rivalry game. I was a bit blown away. I think I mentioned it last night how I was a bit blown away. Like the stadium was full, and until it was a blowout. But like at kickoff, like I know it's like, oh, we're loyal fans, and talking to Ole Miss fans, it's like we sell out every game. But 3-7 team still a bit surprising for me.
Yeah, I mean they sent Herbstreit and Fowler to that game. I kind of feel bad for those guys. Kind of feel bad for those guys, but
that's just the week that it was.
What?
That's just the week that it was. Not many games that they could have gone to that were better.
No, but like you would think they would have slotted like Missouri, Oklahoma into that late time slot on ABC over Florida, Tennessee.
Maybe we're getting a bit off track here. Let's talk about Florida versus FSU. FSU 5-6, a lot to play for if you're Florida State. You can still make a bowl game here, coming off a rough loss to NC State last Friday night. 2 back-to-back muffed punts. I mean, that's just unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. And NC State's decision to go for it on 4th and 6 instead of kicking a field goal and getting it, that was just like one of the most baffling calls and what like results I've seen in this season, which is really weird because it's been a fun season. But going for it on the 4th and 6 and getting it, I don't know if their kicker was hurt or something, but hey, it worked. So props to NC State getting the win there. But FSU still playing for a bowl game. Florida still playing for a big time rivalry spot here. What is your initial thoughts on this game?
I mean, it's just, I think about as bad vibes on both sides as they could possibly be. I mean, Florida State's found a way to win a couple games and get themselves in position to maybe get to a bowl game. But I mean, I think the feeling today among FSU Twitter is not excitement of getting to a bowl game. I think it's disbelief that Mike Norvell is still the coach and kind of a feeling that, I mean, I think they're kind of going through a similar, but probably even worse version of what Florida fans have felt last year with Billy, where a coach that a lot of people didn't really believe in anymore, getting another shot. I mean, I think this one's even worse because just, Billy wasn't a 2-10 followed by a potentially 5-7. I mean, not even waiting to see the results this weekend. I mean, you could lose and miss a bowl for the second year in a row. That is pretty wild. So point being, I think, I don't really know what to expect coming into this game. I'm not sure either team. I mean, both teams have reason to be motivated, but that doesn't mean I'm very confident either team will be motivated. I mean, I think when you look at the actual, like, numbers like the advanced stats, success rate, EPA, I mean, it looks like a game that FSU probably should win, but then you look at the teams they've struggled with in ACC play, and it's like, I don't know. Like on paper, I think it is a better matchup for them, but they've been very uncompetitive against some mediocre teams, whereas Florida has at the very least been competitive against a handful of pretty good teams. So, it's hard for me to figure out what to make of this game, is I guess what I'm getting at.
Yeah, Double D here. Any chance Gus Malzahn leaves FSU? Their offense has been, when that move happened in the preseason, I thought it was a really interesting move, and it was a 2-year deal. I kind of thought Mike Norvell was going to get fired at the end of the year. And with that, Gus Malzahn would also be gone. And with how the season went, everyone thought Mike Norvell was going to be fired. And then, poof, he saves his job. So I've even thought about Gus Malzahn staying there. Like, their offense has been pretty good, but it's also like it hasn't. It's just one of those weird things where they're pretty decent at moving the ball down the field and not scoring or missing a field goal or getting 3 points. Like, I'm not exactly sure how to describe this FSU team other than inconsistent.
Yeah, inconsistent, inefficient, sometimes a little explosive, but there's not a lot. I mean, I think Gus Malzahn probably. I mean, I'll say this. From what everything FSU said when they put out the statement and the kind of reporting about it, it sounds like the changes that he's kind of going to be forced to make are more changes to the talent evaluation front office side than like overhauling the staff again. Because I mean, he already did that last year. I don't think Gus Malzahn's leaving for a different job. Like, I don't think Gus is getting a head coaching job.
No.
So I'd probably guess. I guess he comes back and is probably eyeing retirement in the next year or two.
Yeah, that's what I was. Well, because remember, that's what everyone said. It was going to be a 2-year deal, and then he was going to retire.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, okay, it's going to be cut a year short, and he's just going to be retired. He's just going to retire after FSU cleans house and everything like that. But no, it's just one of those weird things where it happens and it's in paper, but it feels like it's not what's going to go. And then again, everything went that way for it to him end up being retired or not coaching for FSU next season. And you brought it up, and it's just kind of hit me by surprise that, oh yeah, Gus Malzahn's probably still going to be their offensive coordinator next year.
Yeah.
FSU fans don't want to win right now. They want him gone. I don't think losing. I mean, I don't think losing is going to get him fired now.
They wouldn't have put out that statement if this game mattered for that. Look, guys, they can't afford it. They can't afford to fire him.
No,
That's why I promise you, if they don't believe in it. If they could afford to fire him, he would be gone.
He would have been gone after the Stanford game.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, that's an interesting discussion right there. But see, 11 points against NC State. Yes, they had 11 points against NC State. But let me look at the stats in this game. Like FSU, I'm pretty sure they had some success though. Like Castellanos threw for 200 yards and they ran for 170. I mean, 200 passing and 170 on the ground. That's a good day.
They have one of the best run offenses in terms of success rate. Passing wise, not really. They're really inconsistent in the passing game, but they have a pretty good running game.
Their passing game basically is just throw it up to Deuce Robinson.
Yeah.
And I could see that having a lot of success against us.
Yeah. I mean, we've struggled again. I mean, just with some of the guys we've got back there playing. I mean, obviously Devin Moore, like you mentioned, Sam, in this comment, in your follow-up, I mean, that is a good a good matchup for him. But Florida has some other guys out there who are not playing as well in the secondary just due to injuries. And, just guys that are getting significant reps that probably are not either there yet or should never be there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Deuce Robinson's what, 6'6", 6'5"?
I mean, something like that. He's built kind of like a tight end.
Because he was a tight end. He was recruited as a tight end out of high school.
Oh, actually, no.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was that's what recruiting services had him. And I'm pretty sure that's what he played at USC. But my point, if he's being matched up on Javari Flowers is 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
That's a pretty big size mismatch. And now, obviously, it doesn't mean 100% of the time they're just going to throw it up to Deuce Robinson is going to be able to muss be able to moss Javari Flowers, but that's just something you got to take advantage of 2-3 times a game. And those 20, 30, 40-yard passes right there really add up a lot. And the point here is FSU's offense is really good at getting yards, but they're really bad at scoring, which is just such a weird connection to make right there. And
yeah,
it makes it tough to predict this team because Castellanos had 2 interceptions. You take away those interceptions. I know they had a missed field goal as well. Like, based on the yards they have, they probably should have scored like 30 points in that game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the missed field goal, like, FSU's probably should be putting up like 30 in that game. It's like, hey, you just make a field goal, don't throw interceptions, and it's like, poof, your offense looks that much better. And they just do it every single week. I don't know how to react to this team. I mean, they put 34 on Virginia Tech. I mean, I wonder if Virginia Tech was like a little bit sailing in that game, so they would make sure they got James Franklin. Like, is that something to legit talk about? Or is it just crazy talk?
I mean, I think it goes back to what we just said, which is, I think win or lose against Virginia Tech, Norvell would be gone if they could justify paying that amount of money for him to go. So, I mean, I think, I kind of doubt that. I mean, I think Virginia Tech's just a really bad team, frankly. And like FSU they're not a good team by any stretch of the imagination, but like there is talent on this team. This is a better team, like down to down, a much more successful team than the one they had last year. Like they have some strengths here. I mean, they're like a top 20 offense and EPA per play on, so like there are some things that are good here. So, I mean, the point being, I think like they just are better than the very worst teams in the ACC. But I mean, that's not saying that much.
Yeah, but like they lost to Stanford.
Yeah, but Stanford. I mean, Stanford just beat a ACC team that's going to a bowl yesterday. Yeah. Bad. So, I mean, I think Stanford has at least had moments, but like, yeah,
and another game like I look at it makes it confusing. 42-7 over Wake Forest. Like Wake Forest is at 8-3. They're a good team.
Yeah,
and they just got trounced by Florida State. So it's like, what is this FSU team?
And obviously the Alabama win that we just pretend didn't happen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's week 1, and I'm actually thinking about it now. Top. Boom. FSU is 0-4 on the road this season.
Okay.
And those performances at Virginia, which is probably going to make the ACC title game, which is just crazy. So like it's on paper, it's not that bad of a loss, but like it kind of was. But at Virginia, at Stanford, at Clemson, at NC State, and now they play at Florida. And only two of those 4 one-score games, Clemson won by 14, NC State won by 10. So maybe this is a road thing. I mean, at home, close loss to a good Pitt team, 3-point loss at home. Dominated Virginia Tech, dominated Wake Forest, beat Alabama, and the Miami game is a bit interesting. Miami's obviously a better team than them and everything. Like they lost it by 6, but that wasn't like a close game at like any point there. So this is a team that you look at their resume is a good team at home. Like if they're playing all their games at home, they're probably like 8-4, and they beat Alabama at home, of course. So like it's a pretty good team at home, and on the road they just are terrible.
Yeah. I mean, the question is, I think the biggest question for Florida is, I mean, just being straight up, like to what extent are these guys still trying?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I'd hope this being the last game of the season, it being a rivalry game, there's a lot to play for here. With FSU having a chance to make a bowl game and some other stuff that could be on the horizons not too far in the future. Or I don't think if Lane comes to Florida, I don't think it'll be announced before the game. I mean, it could be. Like they said Saturday, but it would probably be like after. If I bet guess.
Now you think because after would be at like 9:00. I bet it would be before. Honestly, I'd be willing to bet it would be before.
That's interesting, but my biggest key in this game is just running the ball. FSU's tackling efforts are porrid. Like, I was watching that game against NC State, and they were just pulling up some horrible tackles that NC State running backs were just easily able to shed off. And our offensive line run blocking looked great against Tennessee. I mean, FSU, again, that's the FSU. They have some actual good players on their D line. Like Daryl Jackson's going to be playing on Sundays. They have this freshman. What's his name?
I'm blanking on his name.
I'm pulling up.
Desire, right?
Desire.
Yeah,
yep. And James Williams, like Deontay, they have some good players on their D line, but it was the same as last year, really. Like Marvin Jones, Daryl Jackson, Patrick Payton, like they had good individual players, and at times they were able to get big plays, but they still, if you got past that D line, the linebackers, DBs, the tackling efforts were just horrible. So I think if our O-line continues to run block well and we don't just avoid running the ball in the first half like we did against Tennessee, I think worst case scenario here is it's a game that goes by pretty quickly in the first half and low scoring. We go to the fourth quarter and we've wear down that FSU defense and we're able to maybe pull the win off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I feel going best case scenario. I mean, I don't think Florida just comes out and like wins this game comfortably. I don't really see that happening. Because I do think there will be motivation on the FSU side I'm not sure the fans care, but I think the players will. But I mean, I think FSU's defense, like their defensive line, like you mentioned, there's talent there, which there is. I mean, they're not like a super, like they don't create a ton of havoc.
Mm-hmm.
They struggle against the pass. They're a little bit better against the run than they are against the pass, but they're not particularly great against either. So I mean, if DJ is going to have a game, I think it could be here. And I mean, obviously you got to feel like Jaden Baugh can have some success, given the way they've defended the run this year. So yeah, I mean, I think there is a semi-solid offensive matchup here. I do worry a little bit about Florida with how injured they've been, having a big guy like Deuce Robinson defensively. Mm-hmm. And then just obviously, what we've seen struggles against dual threat quarterbacks before, and Castellanos, like, say what you will, he's thrown a lot of interceptions this year and stuff, but he can make plays, outside of structure. So.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Are we ready to make picks, or is there any other points that we've maybe missed on here?
I think everyone kind of knows where we're at here. I think we can get into picks, unless you have something to add.
Sam, is this the game that gives DJ his confidence back? He went off last year. I don't think he went off last year. We we won that game by 20 points.
Not one of his best games. Yeah.
Like he had that crazy play where he shrugged off Daryl Jackson, and his one interception was Marcus Burke running a wrong route there, but he had a solid game. I wouldn't say it was horrible.
I mean, but didn't they have 8 fumbles as a team in that game?
They did. 8 also.
Yeah, so I mean, that wasn't a game for DJ last year. Also, this is a very different FSU team. I mean, that's the thing. They're still disappointing, but they are not that level of bad. They're a lot better.
No, but hey, I guess we'll get into our picks. Yeah. I think it's going to be a bit lower scoring. I mean, hot take there, I bet. But no, I think it's going to be a bit lower scoring. I think we're going to be able to run the ball at a pretty high level. I think we're going to be able to win this game. And I'm going to take us to win this game 23-16.
Okay, we're pretty much pretty close to each other with those picks. I kind of agree. I don't think Florida, I mean, I think DJ kind of is what he is at this point. I don't think nothing's getting fixed this week. I think we've said that before. If anything's going to get fixed with DJ, it's going to happen in the offseason with a new coaching staff. So I don't think you're going to see the offense finally find its stride in this game. But I think Florida can get enough stops on defense, force enough mistakes from Castellanos, run the ball well enough to tough out a win. I see something a little closer, but I also kind of agree, pretty low scoring. I say 24-21 Florida.
Yeah, I see that. That honestly might be it right there. You're convincing me to change my opinion, but no. So we both have Florida winning. Maybe we shouldn't. I mean, we just got blown out by Tennessee, but Tennessee would blow FSU out as well, I think. So,
yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily. And I'd hope the team gives a lot of effort in this game. It's a rivalry and everything, so that's just something you can't predict.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean my pick is operating under the assumption that this team has not completely given up and quit. Because if they have, then all bets are off.
Yeah, because I mean we saw it early in this year. This FSU offense can really score if they're, if they're not making dumb plays, stupid plays, and having penalties that cost them poorly. But no, I think we're able to win this game, knock them out of playoff contention. Is in the swamp. I expect it to be a ruckus environment, especially if the Lane Kiffin news starts going our way.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited, and hopefully Gators win.